Hey guys, also welcome to another video of mine, Squad AA, and this is your review for the Eintracht Frankfurt versus Chelsea, which ended 1-1 in Germany. And if I do get into things, it was a good result. It was a good result. Obviously, I was disappointed right at the end because I do believe that we could have scored. Maybe one more. We should have won the game. A bit disappointing, but I'll be getting into that. Before I do get into that, obviously go over the lineup now. Obviously, we did have a strong lineup, but there was a lot of question marks. Obviously, Hazard was left out of the starting 11. He was starting on the bench. A lot of question marks. A lot of people confused. He didn't have a knock. There wasn't any reports. It was just him being on the bench. And so basically, Kepa in goal, our strongest back four: Emerson, Azpilicueta, Christensen, and Luis. As we know, really guys that injury. Midfield three of N'Golo Kante, Jorginho, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And then front three of Pedro, Willian, Olivier Giroud, the Cristiano Ronaldo of Thursday nights. But you know what? First half, I just got to mention, we were diabolical. We were diabolical. I thought this is disgraceful. We're in the semi-final we're in the European semi-final, and we're coming out playing like that. But one thing I got to mention: fair play to Frankfurt because their atmosphere was electric. Definitely the best atmosphere in this competition so far. They would not stop singing. I could hear it from the television. But imagine being at the ground, the flags, the placards, the posters, and the non-stop shouting and screaming. And it was just fair play to them because they kept their team going on, their stamina. And the thing I noticed in the first half, the reason why I was so poor is the intensity shown by Frankfurt in the first half. They were pressurising us, keeping the intensity, playing a high line, using Jovic in that front three. I did mention they would be playing three at the back in my preview, and that's exactly what they did. Use the width wisely. They pressurised us, they suffocated us, so they didn't allow us any room whatsoever. They didn't allow us to play out the back, and I did mention that they're going to disrupt our triangle between Jorginho, Luis, and Christensen. Jovic is perfectly there. We couldn't really string many passes. We were really, really poor. The crowd were behind Frankfurt as well, and Frankfurt took their chance. Luka Jovic did a fantastic goal. Poorly defended, in my opinion, by Luis, but nonetheless a world-class header. Kostic sticks a beautiful ball in, and Jovic times himself, steadies himself, and he slots it into the corner. Kepa, no chance, a fantastic header, 1-0, and the crowd, they go mental, it erupts. But it was well deserved. Frankfurt were much the better sides, and like I said, we were diabolical. We did not play well whatsoever. It was so disappointing. It was so disappointing. It was such a poor performance, and it's not just me, trying pinpointing a few players. It was pretty much the whole first 11. We were pretty much dog shit. We were really, really poor as well, and it's just really, really disappointing to see. I was like, it's half time. We need tactical substitutions, a few tweaks here and there. 1-0 is at the end of the world. We can go again. Bring Hazard on at half time, but thank God for Pedro in the 45th minute. Pedro strikes one to break the deadlock. 1-1. A corner comes in. Nothing happens. Plays short. Ruben Loftus-Cheek does so much. He plays fantastically well to get power through his way past two men. He literally aligns it for Pedro, and Pedro sticks into the bottom corner. 1-1. We go into half time. Perfect timing to score, and it was so undeserved. Frankfurt deserved to be leading half time, but it was a tale of two halves because the first half ended and I was gassed because I was like 1-1. We got the away goal, and we did not deserve it. Frankfurt are much better side. In the second half, it's a completely different story. How we've not come out of that game, have not to have won that game, is shocking. I don't understand. We were all over him second half. That midfield, there was a midfield masterclass. Jorginho, the maestro, for me, one of the best performances in Chelsea. Man of the match, in my opinion. The way he dictated the tempo, dictated the game, the way he was charging forward, keeping up the intensity, flying in challenges, tackles, slide tackles, getting stuck in. A fantastic performance from Jorginho today, and no complaints from him. No complaints. Just want to see him more often. We know there's a world class player in there, but we just want to see him more often. I thought, it's fantastic the way he was spraying those balls, dictating the tempo of the game, like I said, but not just him. N'Golo Kante keeping up that intensity, that high energy. N'Golo Kante, we know, never runs out of stamina. Getting stuck in, winning the ball back, retrieving the ball, going on these charging ones. Being that world-class midfielder that we know N'Golo Kante is. And Loftus-Cheek, one of the best players, and he will develop into a top-class midfielder. Without him, I think we would have struggled. I did mention Loftus-Cheek would be key for this game in my preview. The way he was charging through men. He had a beautiful chance second half where he should have slotted in if he had his finishing boots on. But for me, Loftus-Cheek was fantastic. No complaints from him. He was so good. I was really disappointed when he came off in the 81st minute for Mateo Kovacic. It was more of a defensive sub. That's when it kind of indicated to me that Sarri was satisfied with the 1-1 and he's going to take it. In my opinion, we should have pushed on for the 2-1. I think that, it would have changed the complexion of the tie, the dynamics of the tie completely. But the good news is we got the away goal, so therefore a 0-0 at Stamford Bridge will send us through, and now Frankfurt have to score, therefore they'll be more liable to counter-attacks. Now, one thing I did also notice in the game as well was the stamina of Frankfurt, because they kept the intensity so high in the first half, the first 30 to 35 minutes, should I say. I knew they'd get knackered eventually, the way there was in our faces, high press, intensity, disrupting our back line, in between those pockets of space, half spaces. And I just knew in the second half fatigue would start to kick in, they'd get really, really tired. And it showed, they started having cramp with 10 to 15 minutes to go. They were knackered, they were so susceptible to counter-attacks. Every time, sloppy passes would intercept them. And you could tell they get knackered. Some of them, especially Sebastian Rhodes. And with Jorginho, when he went down with that head injury, had a bit of blood on his head. He got that bandage round. We should make it a permanent one, because ever since he had that bandage, like I said, Maestro Jorginho and midfield masterclass, that free trio has to be starting for the future. That has to be our starting midfield. Loftus-Cheek, the best number 8 we have at the club. N'Golo Kante, Jorginho. It was a phenomenal midfield display, masterclass, as I said. But one player I do want to mention in this review as well is Willian, because the decline is unreal. Obviously, I've noticed he has been declining, obviously, last 18 months, etc., to potentially 2 years. But his acceleration, I think he's lost that extra burst of pace, that acceleration that he used to have, because the way that, obviously he's a natural left winger because he's right-footed, he likes to cut in and, finesse it, curl it, but he's very slow at shifting the ball. I don't know, it's not just this game, but I've noticed the United game, that game against Liverpool Anfield, it was so evident where he had one of his worst performances in the Chelsea shirt. And I know Willian has been, susceptible to a lot of criticism, and a lot of people have scapegoated him, unfortunately. But today he's finished, man. I've got to say he's finished. He was so poor today, so poor. He was always killing our counter-attacks, ruining chances, poor final third passes. The decision making from Willian was so tragic today, and it was so evident, so clear to see, and it's just sad. Decline is real. He is going to be 31 in August, I believe. His contract is running out, so the decline is happening. He's losing that extra yard of pace, that acceleration that we used to see from Willian. It is going, and obviously Hazard, the main man, talisman, did come on in the 65th minute. Like I said, very, very odd that he didn't start, but I've noticed with Hazard, when he keeps coming into games, he's not as effective, and this is because obviously when people forget the context, when players come on, they have to adjust to the tempo of the game. Obviously, when you come into a game, you need to get the feel for it. The game's already running at a very rapid pace. You need to adjust yourself. First few touches, you haven't really hit a ball as much as well compared to your opponent, so it's going to take time to adjust. But once he got going, he was pretty decent, Obviously, as we know, Hazard dribbling past a couple of players, really nice link-up play with Ruben, etc. A couple of nice shots here and there, but I was really disappointed that we didn't go and push for that second goal, because I do believe that we did have the stamina and the capacity, and I could see Frankfurt, they were there for the taking last 10 minutes. I could see they were getting tired, they were getting knackered. I just believe that if we pushed a little bit more, we could have definitely got it. Obviously, like I said, Ruben had a glorious chance. David Luiz with a phenomenal free kick, hit the crossbar. He had a nice free header from a set piece as well. But yeah, like I said, Frankfurt, they were there for the taking last 10 minutes. But credit to Frankfurt, I knew this would be a tough game. I did mention in my preview. I did say 1-0 as well. I did say also I wouldn't be surprised if we lost, but I do believe we can take him at the bridge, because when they come at the bridge, like I said, they have to come and they have to score, because if Frankfurt don't score, if we keep a clean sheet at Stamford Bridge, we're through to the Europa League final, because they have to score. We'll go for an away goal, so we have to become packed defensively. But I'll be talking about that in the preview for when we do play him against at Stamford Bridge. But no, good result, 1-1. We got the away goal. I did say if we do draw, it has to be a score draw. I'm very, very happy with that. But like I said, decent performances here and there. Second half, we definitely picked up a tale of two halves. That midfield masterclass, Jorginho, the maestro. And yeah, defence sometimes is a bit iffy. David Luiz, the organisation was good in the second half. The first half, however, a little bit suspect. Christensen was booked as well, and he could have easily been sent off. But overall, decent. Emerson, good link-up play. But one player that really impressed me, in two players actually in Frankfurt. Obviously, we know Luka Jovic, top-class player, world-class player. We want to sign in priority in the summer. But another player was Danny Da Costa. He was phenomenal, terrorising Emerson down that right-hand side. His crosses, his burst of pace, acceleration, the way he's positioning defensively. So, no, I was really impressed with Danny Da Costa. Fantastic fullback, and I'd love to have him at Chelsea. But no, very, very good fullback. Very good performance by him. But no, like I said, the atmosphere from Frankfurt is phenomenal as well, so fair play to them. But like I said, annoying we're going to get the second, considering how the second half planned out. But some really good performances, midfield especially. But yeah, a decent performance overall. We got the job done. We got a good result. We can take him back to the bridge and take him on. So I'm really, really happy with that. That is my review. If you did enjoy this review, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel if you're new around here, and comment down below your thoughts and opinions on the game. And I'll see you guys for the next video. Peace.